We've become very skilled at and adjusted our deployment methodologies to a wide variety of fiberglass and carbon fiber portable telescoping masts for wire antenna deployments. But what if someone purpose designed a heavy duty carbon fiber mast that allowed us to deploy vertical antennas? I'm deploying a tactical delta loop here that has a metal feed point, a stainless steel feed point, a matching unit, and two stainless 17-foot telescoping whips. This CFM-34HD has no problem whatsoever holding this up, and today I'm going to show you a new deployment methodology. Chameleon antenna has been shattering the paradigm as it relates to portable deployment masts. They started with this integrated 3/8 by 24 stud on the bottom of their CFM-34. This was the original introduction. So anything that has a 3/8 by 24 receptacle, you can deploy this mast on. And of course, then we have the other side, which is a carbon fiber telescoping mast. The CFM-16 is perhaps my favorite because most of my deployments are with wire antennas that I like to deploy from my truck. So if I put this on my truck bed, I'm up over 20 feet, and even 16 feet is enough to deploy most of my wire antennas for POTA. But Chameleon Antenna came out with the HD version. How's it going, everyone? I'm Bob, KD4BMG HOA Ham. I'll leave my link in the description below to the original introduction video of the CFM-34HD, and today we're going to get a really close look at one of my favorite deployments. This topic won't be a surprise to any regular viewers of the channel. I like incorporating my vehicle in my portable deployments when it works. When there's a place for my vehicle to be, I have a bike rack on the back. I will frequently attach masts to that bike rack. I'll screw my CFM-16 on top of my truck bed, but today we're going to do a drive-on mount because this CFM-34HD will go into a drive-on mount. Chameleon has made these very specific adapters to attach to the bottom of your CFM-34HD, and now you have an entirely new deployment method that you can use with this very robust mast. Now, if you go to Chameleon Antenna's website or DX Engineering, I'll leave links to both in the description below. You will see that Chameleon Antenna provides a very specific user's guide for all of their carbon fiber masts, how to deploy them correctly, accurately, safely, to be sure there's no damage to your gear, to your mast, so you don't bend or destroy that bottom stud. Just think about all the torque that is on that stud. So in many cases, you can just install this CFM-34HD on a ground spike if all you're doing is a wire antenna. As soon as you put verticals on this, you want some additional strength and stability, so you would guide this in certain cases. So the Chameleon user guide tells you when you need to guide this, GUI, with guy wires, and when you don't need to. Here with the drive-on mast, we have all kinds of stability that gives us new deployment options. Let's see how we pull this off. For those who've not seen the CFM-34HD except for just here in this clip a couple of minutes ago, this is the very top. It is long enough that I can't fit it on my workbench. I only have about 40 inches of space here on my workbench, and the CFM-34HD is longer than that. And so I'm just showing you the top of it right now, and it is exactly what I've already described. It has a 3/8 by 24 female receptacle right here, so you can deploy on this anything you need to. So if all you're trying to do is put a wire antenna, you would put a shackle on this. As a matter of fact, I've got a shackle over here. So I would just take a shackle, which has a 3/8 by 24 inserted into here, and then I can fly my wire antenna from this. You can put a feed point here, a matching unit, and go on this with a vertical SS17. You already saw me do it with a tactical delta loop. So a lot of opportunity and flexibility with this 3/8 by 24 integrated in the top. So we went from what we had here on the original CFM-34, an eyelet, to an actual 3/8 by 24 receptacle that gives us all kinds of new flexibility. Now, give me a second to flip this around on the other side so you can see the bottom. And here we have the bottom side. So again, very similar to the original CFM-34 and the CFM-16 integrated 3/8 by 24. In the original video where I introduced this, you will see me using this with a ground spike. So these are the other parts that are going to come with the kit to install this on a drive-on mount. So this will come apart here, right where we have the two screws and the wing nut. So this will separate in half. I'll show you this in a second. And then you have two other parts here. This is the bottom cap. That bottom cap that protects your 3/8 by 24 stud when you put it in the drive-on mount goes into this other piece. So now you would have this section here further up. I'm getting out of the camera view. You would have it further up here, and then this would go over the bottom. So let me show you how to assemble this onto the mast. You could either leave this on permanently, even if you deploy this in other ways, or you could just use this only when you go the drive-on mast method. So let me show you how to get this installed and ready to insert the entire section into your drive-on mount. All Chameleon masts come with a rubberized thread protector tip. What I have here is something that was custom made for me by Bill, KC2KNA. Thanks, Bill, for 3D printing that for me. And then this also comes with your CFM-34 and this reducer kit that you use to go into a POTA mast mount. So that drive-on mount that you saw me use, that was a POTA mast mount that you pick up from Chameleon Antenna. It's made specifically for their POTA mast, and therefore these 3D printed parts are made to go inside of a mount that many of us already have and have picked up from Chameleon. All the hardware here is stainless steel hardware, so we don't have to worry about what will happen to these fasteners when they're exposed to the weather. They're not going to rust. So put one of your washers on one end of the screw, put it through the two 3D printed parts, put a lock washer, and then your wing nut. Now my fingers are the size of small fat sausages, and I had no problem getting the first wing nut on there, but the second one here does give me just a little bit of a fit. Stick with it, be patient, and this is what I mean earlier when I say perhaps you want to leave this on permanently. This isn't interfering with any other mounts or installations that you might want to do, so you may find it's just as convenient to leave this on permanently as opposed to take it off and on. But again, that's completely your choice how you want to deploy this going forward. And now that we have the hardware on, you can see I've got the bottom section on, which is held on by that KC2KNA adapter. And now I have the top piece that will slide up and down and go into the mast mount. I've purposely demonstrated for you here the installation of the tactical delta loop. And the reason why I wanted to do the tactical delta loop is because it has some substantive weight to it. It has a solid stainless steel hub that goes right into the top of the 3/8 by 24 adapter on top of the CFM-34HD. It has a 5-to-1 matching unit. Here I'm using the CHA Hybrid Micro, and then I'm putting two SS17s on this. Now, something else that I want you to see, I want you to understand the height of this mast as you're deploying it. In my younger days, I was 5 foot 10 inches. I'm in my, well, I'm not going to say how old I am, but you know, at the age where you start to shrink. So I think I'm 5'9". And I'm putting the wire that attaches to the two 17-foot whips. I'm installing that using a very small step stool that I picked up out of a closet that my wife uses to get things out of the kitchen cabinet. Once I unwrap my wire that connects the two 17-foot whips, you're going to see that I'm standing without the step stool. I want you to see what it looks like, that you can indeed, if you're 5'9"-ish, you can go ahead and you can utilize this mast with the tactical delta loop. I'm dealing with not only the height of the mast, I'm dealing with the longest of the two whips, because that whip is on top of a matching unit, and yep, I can pull it off. Now, I decided not to continue with that deployment because, showing off my midriff is not going to get me likes and subscriptions and views, so I went with the easiest way to deploy this, as well as to spare your eyesight with something that wasn't really that interesting to look at. The obvious thing about the tactical delta loop is that it's a pretty impressive looking antenna, and oh boy does it perform well. Talk to anyone that's used Chameleon Antenna's tactical delta loop, and they will tell you that this is a very high performing antenna, 6 through 40 meters, and some swear by it by using it on 80 meters. If you can get this elevated, you even get better performance, and I think if you're going to use this on 80, you're going to want this elevated. And that's what I'm attempting to do here. I'm not actually turning on a radio today. I'm demonstrating a deployment option that you now have available to you that you hadn't had previously. You don't need to use the integrated 3H/24 stud with the ground spike. You can use this drive-on mount. Now, I mentioned getting the tactical delta loop off the ground only improves its performance. I've deployed this many times ground mounted, meaning use the ground spike or a surveyor tripod flat on the ground. So I've used my tactical delta loop in that fashion. Get it 2 feet off the ground, get it 4 feet off the ground. We're familiar with getting verticals elevated away from the ground to reduce ground losses. So the tactical delta loop, a phenomenal performing antenna, get it elevated up to 20 feet. It's just spectacular in performance. I know some operators that this is all they will deploy. I've known a few operators who were hesitant, and when they got their hands on one, they never looked back, and this is what they normally deploy with now. So to get this 20 feet in the air, I used the bottom section that was inserted into the drive-on mount, and then the next 3 from the bottom. And so that's 4 sections, got me close to 20 feet. It meant that I had 3 sections still at the top of this mast collapsed. I had it deployed 20 feet in the air in the strongest possible way, with the top 3 sections still inside the mast, not utilized. So I've said that this is one of my favorite deployments. Why is that? Well, it's because my drive-on mount is always with me. My POTA mast, which actually is in the backyard, that I fly the American flag on here in the HOA, and I have a sloping inverted V on that. I've taken that portable. It's a pretty substantive, beefy antenna. Now I've got a lightweight portable mast that will still utilize those same mounts, that drive-on mount. I get to leave my POTA mast here. I pick up this CFM-34, which weighs nothing, keep it in my truck, have the drive-on mast. It's a great deployment opportunity on the spur of the moment, because there it is with me all the time. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you might deploy this, what type of antenna you might fly off of your CFM-34HD, what kind of vertical you would use instead of a wire antenna, and where you might deploy this drive-on mount. Do you like using your vehicle as much as I do as part of your deployment? Hope you found this useful. Looking forward to your feedback. Talk to you soon, friend. 73.